Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Radowski here of wearechange.org, and there is a lot of absolutely crazy news to get into as this administration looks to shift focuses from the utter disaster that they have caused for you, your life, your children's life, your children's children's life, as the report cards are in, and surprise, surprise, the states with the biggest governments created the worst amount of human harm to its population. We're going to be talking about that. New mandates coming back, and all the other human disasters that were created because people can't take personal responsibility for themselves and choose an unaccountable gang of warmongers to represent them. Lots of crazy news. We're just going to jump right into it because of so much happening right now, as of course it looks like there's a major incident unfolding right now in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, on the 36th Street subway station, as there's reports of multiple people being seriously hurt and injured after a major incident there that many people are still trying to figure out what actually happened. In short, I would say the mayor there is very busy partying, going to galas, and forcing under 5-year-olds to wear masks, while, of course, crime takes over the city. Again, we still don't know what kind of incident this is. We're still waiting to find out. But I bet this event is going to be dominating the conversation for the rest of the day. Another conversation that should be dominating national headlines is, of course, the latest economic numbers, as inflation has soared to 8.5% over the past 12 months, the biggest spike since December 1981. This as the price of gas, food, rent, almost every single item in our daily life has gone up dramatically in price, skyrocketing, of course, compared to wages. And what did you think was going to happen when the U.S. Federal Reserve is literally printing money out of thin air and giving it to their friends in BlackRock? Secret, big international banking bailouts are happening right now, just like they did in 2008, literally stealing money from the general public from their savings in order to keep the profits of unaccountable big banksters and the billionaire class that are doing better than ever. The pain that will be caused by these fiscal policies is insurmountable, is absolutely vast, it's huge, and we should be having debates and conversations about this, but we don't. ABC News is focusing on identity issues, and this segment, whatever it may be, Disney is doubling down on their wokeness, choosing to go all in on people's identities and belief systems when it comes to forcing adult conversations on children in kindergarten. Yes, this is literally what Disney is choosing to prioritize, forcing 5-year-olds to be lectured about adult identities and confusing topics that overall, statistically, after being injected, I would say has had a very negative effect through some data on the overall happiness of children in school. Dissatisfaction rate, the rate of children feeling sad or hopeless is going up dramatically. And with national conversations like this, we wonder why, especially as things become less and less attainable and their financial futures are being destroyed right in front of their eyes. But it doesn't have to be this way, and this is why we set up Uncensored.com, our own platform where we give you tips and tricks on how to not only make it through, but thrive in the upcoming uncertain times, as we have used this platform to, of course, talk about deeper issues, topics that, of course, we cannot discuss here on this platform. On our own platform, LukeUncensored.com, we have 3 masterclasses available to you. The Apocalypse Survival Training, around 50 videos of some of the most important skills and tools you will need to survive no matter what comes our way. There's also the Travel and Escape Hacking Masterclass. If you're looking, of course, to expatriate, to travel, and to find freer, better places in these chaotic times. And there's also, of course, Change Media University, our staple masterclass that literally teaches you how to have a voice online and be heard in the most effective way possible. All of that, plus a lot more, all available on LukeUncensored.com. If you haven't signed up for this, what are you waiting for? Click the link down in the description below and sign up right now. Now, when it comes to the Biden administration, a lot has been said about the senileness of the current president, especially with the introduction video that we played in the beginning of this broadcast, but there's a lot more to it, especially when you really look down at the seediness, the nastiness, the corruption of Mr. Lobbyist himself, Joe Biden, and his son, Hunter Biden, with, of course, international business dealings with Ukraine, with China, that, of course, also affect our current domestic and international foreign policy here in the United States, to the point where even U.S. Congressman Jim Jordan is now suggesting that there might potentially even be an indictment of Hunter Biden because of the overwhelming amount of evidence showing clear corruption within the Biden family and, of course, our modern political system. Now, I think it's only fair to say that Biden's policies have been absolutely disastrous, not just for the American public, but, of course, the people in Afghanistan, where the president willy-nilly turned over billions of dollars of weaponry onto the world stage, abandoned it, left it in the hands of some of the worst elements in this entire world, and now this same administration is trying to ban and punish you from having parts for weapons of defense. Yes, the Biden administration just set off new regulatory powers that are absolutely made up, weren't debated, weren't passed by the Congress or the Senate, just willy-nilly announced, hey, if you're a legal, law-abiding citizen working on your defense tools and trying to make them better, you will now be deemed a felon, as of course he also called the ATF the AFT for some reason, all of course as he's cracking down on literally law-abiding innocent civilians that of course are the ones overwhelmingly not responsible for the huge surge of violence that's happening in mainly democratic cities that have implemented policies, laws, rules, and regulations that have created the skyrocketing of violence in those places where defensive tools are stolen and then used for crimes. This latest legislation is not going to do anything except for punish innocent law-abiding citizens, and I think it's pretty fair to say that's exactly what these regulatory made-up decrees are meant to do. And not only did Biden call the ATF the AFT in his speech, he also said
that is immune. Imagine had the tobacco industry been immune to being sued. Come on. In February, the family...
Now, if that doesn't give you confidence in what this administration is doing, I don't know what will, as of course it is moving full steam ahead at blaming all of our problems on the president of Russia somehow. As of course, Jen Psaki, the spokesperson for this absolute train wreck yesterday, tried to blame the upcoming inflation numbers that we just talked about earlier on Putin, literally saying that these extraordinary elevated levels of inflation are because of the conflict in Ukraine, and clearly they're not. You look at these latest inflation numbers, and they happened way before the conflict in Ukraine. They happened throughout the majority of the Biden administration that continued reckless monetary policies that literally bailed out the big banks on Wall Street, the big banksters internationally, and all the multinational corporations that, of course, they do business with. Their profits privatized, their losses socialized, as of course we're living under exact crony capitalism that we have to remember is being deliberately orchestrated in a way to destroy the U.S. economy, destroy its financial freedom in order, from my perspective and everything I'm seeing, to create a great reset that they will be able to, quote, build back better from, a famous slogan from, of course, the Biden administration and many other top globalists that have been using this chaotic situation in order to push for more power and control for themselves and their buddies. And there's no way to say that this has not been done deliberately, especially after the latest reports that we're getting specifically showing the ratings of how U.S. states fared throughout the last 2 years when it came to implementing health policies. And surprise, surprise, as we've been warning and telling you, the governments that did the most, the governments that intervened into people's lives actually created more human suffering, more pain, more financial calamities, more destruction of human life, showing how the harsh lockdowns caused huge rates in people actually getting sick and passing away from this sickness, along with ruining kids' education, destroying businesses, propping up multinational corporations while shutting down mom and pop stores. The ranking specifically shows how New Jersey, the District of Columbia, New York, New Mexico, California, and Illinois ranked the lowest, according to the National Bureau of Economic Research, when it came to their effectiveness of approach during the last 2 years, while, of course, states like Utah, Nebraska, Vermont, Montana, South Dakota, Florida, and New Hampshire scored the best when it came to the results that they had with the policies that they have implemented. New Jersey fared the worst. It's being led by a Goldman Sachs governor who, of course, very eagerly shut down church services and small businesses, all while leaving Walmart wide open for everyone to go consume at. Cuomo of New York also had a very dismal record, as a lot of these governors also specifically sent a lot of their elderly patients into nursing homes, specifically with sick patients, on purpose, which has created a tremendous amount of human life that they have yet to be fully held accountable for. Absolute destructive criminals is what these individuals are, and we didn't need this data to show us this, but now we know without any doubt of certainty that these policies are absolutely destructive, nasty, stupid, don't do anything to help anyone except the multinational corporations, except the banking billionaire class. And that's why Democratic areas in the United States are reintroducing them. Yes, this is not a joke, as Philadelphia just reinstated their draconian big state nanny indoor mask mandate, as of course 2 people in a 7-day period are passing away in Philadelphia. The numbers, of course, don't justify this larger escalation, this larger policy, but who cares? They help out the globalists, the billionaire corporate class. So let's keep pushing these restrictive policies, which are absolutely unpopular. And Philadelphia is not exempt from this lunacy and madness, as of course the New York City mayor is claiming that children are hospitalized and therefore he needs to mask 5-year-olds. Yes, these are his talking points, which absolutely have no merit in them, no data behind them, no actual logical sense behind them. This, as many medical professionals are calling for him to be fired, as he is defending his mask mandate for children under the age of 5. Why would you punish children? Why would you lie about doing that? Well, this is what government is the perfect representation of. And if people need a reminder of that, send them this video just so they could get an understanding of the true severity of this situation, where now we are dealing with food shortages on the world stage that will be devastating, that will be impactful, that I hope you guys are preparing for, which we will be talking about exclusively on LukeUncensored.com and continuing this conversation on our own platform. Food shortages, what's happening in China, is all topics that we need to be aware of. There's a lot of things that are hidden from you, and goodness gracious, we are truly heading towards absolutely devastating times, especially if more politicians try to intervene in more of your life. There's a direct correlation. More government, more suffering. The Republicans are just as guilty as the Democrats here. It's a 2-party duopoly that is waging a full frontal assault on you, your liberty, your prosperity, and your financial freedom. Wake up now before it's too late, and at least start preparing for the very difficult times ahead, because they're definitely coming ahead. We've been warning you about this for a very long time. The few people who have listened, you guys are doing a lot better than a lot of the people who haven't. And again, this is just my perspective, my opinion. If you thought I was wrong in any way, shape, or form, let me know why in the comment section below. I always appreciate your constructive criticism. I always appreciate you spending time and watching these videos all the way till the very end. Again, another video coming your way on LukeUncensored.com. I'm very excited to make that specific video. A lot of things I want to get off of my chest that, of course, I can't on here. If you thought this video was helpful and could potentially help people see the light of exactly what's going on right now, share this video with your friends, family members, strangers. You doing activism, you getting important information out there is key and essential to people's freedom and prosperity. And whether it's this video or another video or even a chart or even an article I shared, it doesn't matter. Starting the conversation is important, and I hope you guys do that, especially with your friends and loved ones around you while you still can. I love you guys. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Stay tuned for a lot more here on wearechange.org.